What is going on? Well, Prentice here. Hopefully, you're doing well. It is horrible weather out here. I'm just doing this right now to get us a little prepared. But as you look outside right now, I am in Arkansas in a hotel, and as you can see, it is tornado central. It's been like this. If you're in Arkansas, you already know, and it's been like this for quite some time. Um, but I want to jump out here live to share with you a few things. I'm always sharing updates on what's happening, what's going on, and to answer any questions if you're able to catch me at this time. I kind of wish I would have planned this earlier because then maybe I'll have more people here with more questions. But as we get going, let me turn on some lights. As we get going, people may have questions, right? So I want to help out. And I'm gonna share everything here, or not everything. I'm gonna share a lot. I'm gonna share stuff you guys really, really want to know. But ultimately, as far as updates go, I have been using a tool to allow me to text you guys. So people who have decided to watch the masterclass, I changed the masterclass to where in the beginning it talks about the important stuff in the beginning that I feel everybody should know, and that if they want to learn more about this or see part two, they put in their phone number and then I send them a link. And the purpose of me originally doing that was so we could have a way of communicating and talking. However, I've noticed that as I'm talking to people, no one talks back. So I'm like, all right, maybe I should just stuck with email. So I may be going back to that here relatively soon. But if you have any questions, throw them in the chat and I'll see what I could do. And we'll see what happens, all right? So that is a big update. And of course, I'm in this hotel because the house I was in, the house I have, was leaking. So they're fixing it. And while they're fixing it, they gave me this hotel to stay in. So you're going to see later on some videos, me doing reviews of waters while I'm in a hotel. So just know that that's why, all right? But with everything that's happening in the world, especially with whether you like him or hate him, that's not the point. The point is what he's doing is actions are happening, which is Donald Trump. He's putting tariffs on things on other countries as they bring in goods, right? And so that may really have an effect on us and how we do things. So hopefully you're doing well. I'm going to share with you how that's going to impact, right? But at the same time, I'm also going to share what I've been using as far as water and all that stuff. So I'm in my hotel and I bring my water with me everywhere. That electrolyzed reduced water. That's a scientific name. And the reason why I've always shared it that way, because I know a lot of people are just like, why don't you just tell us the name of the water? And there's two reasons for that. One, it's not a bottled brand of water, right? So that's the first thing. The second is actually a combination of things, right? So the first thing is we got to filter our water. That is the foundation. Filtration is the foundation. And so many people, when they get tired of bottled water, they're like, oh, I'll just get a filter, right? And they think that that's the end. And that's really just the start if you really want the best water for your health. Because essentially, bottled water is filtered water. And you see that's not good, right? If you've seen any of my videos, you know it's not the best water. You see it doesn't have that electrical charge. It's not living water. It's dead. And they add in minerals, sometimes naturally, sometimes they're synthetic. And we're taught that that's alkaline water and we're taught that that's good for us. And then we see just about with every bottled water that it's not able to hydrate us. Lower surface tension. And we see that with the T-bag test, right? So there's two parts to it. Now, so I'm gonna show you everything right here. But the goal is not really to do the full education. The goal is if you care and want to learn about this, check out the masterclass because it goes into detail on all of this and more. All right. But just to show you how I have it set up. So this is the water that I have. In all the videos, this is what I'm doing, right? So tap water goes right here. First thing it goes through is a filter. All right. After it goes through this filter, It goes right here through this medical device. This Japanese, and I'm saying Japanese because it's from Japan, Japanese certified medical device that makes several different kinds of water. It makes Kangen water. It makes beauty water. It makes regular clean water. But this can completely revolutionize your life because this is not the bottle. Well, the clean water is the bottled stuff. It's actually better than the bottled stuff because you're not dealing with microplastics. You're not dealing with xenoestrogen, cancer-causing chemicals. But let me just grab a glass here. Let me just grab a glass. Let me just press this. Let me just turn this on. And the reason why this is amazing is simply because it splits the water. So you have your alkaline water up top, and you have your acidic water that goes down into the bottom, right? So I'm just going to turn this down a little bit. And what I'm going to show you is, this is what you don't get with bottled water. And that is this. Can you see it? This is what you're missing in bottled water. This is active oxygen and molecular hydrogen. This is what you're missing. That swirly stuff. That is what is missing. It's not living. Like, this water is living, and so it's able to help out with a lot of different challenges. Okay? And that happens by just turning on the water. And there's so many benefits to having this, including it being a tax write-off. All right? So that's the product, but you're probably like, why that? What else does it do? How does it help us? All that kind of stuff. The pricing, how does it connect to our home? What about, like, all those things are answered in the masterclass, which is why I have it, right? But this provides some of the best drinking water. So if you have any questions, throw them in the chat, and I'll get to answering them. So back to Donald Trump, right? Once again, whether you love him or hate him, doesn't matter. He has imposed tariffs on all these different countries. And if you're bringing something into the US, if you're bringing something that's imported from another country coming in, then it will be taxed at a higher rate. There'll be a tariff they have to pay, right? Active hydrogen and all that stuff makes you burp a little bit. But the reason why I'm telling you this now is, while it hasn't happened yet, I have a feeling it's going to. Well, the tariffs have happened, yes, but it has not affected this yet, which is that water. So if you've already seen the masterclass, if you haven't seen it, you should really watch it. Because if you're serious about your health, serious about changing your life, serious about drinking the best water that comes from a medical device, that comes from Japan, you're going to want to watch this. Because, and not only just watch it for the education and learning and all that stuff, and to decide, to make a decision to see if this is right for you. And the reason why I'm saying you want to do it soon is because if the tariff gets applied to this, if you think it's expensive now, it's going to be much more expensive when that tariff gets applied. So some of you seen the masterclass, you're like, I don't know about paying that, and I know it's, and you have this belief that's expensive when you're going to spend your whole life buying bottled water that's not good for you, that declines your health, puts you in the hospital to where you're paying more expenses, and you think that this is going to be expensive compared to that, right? So I'm sharing all this with you to let you know that if the price of this goes up because of tariffs, it doesn't hurt me. It affects you guys, right? And even though, despite what the price may be raised to, even if that price raises, it's still worth it to get this. but we all like saving money. Let's be honest. If we can save our money and hold our money and put it towards things that other things as well as this, then we would absolutely do that. Like that's a no-brainer, right? So I'm just sharing this with you because once again, if the tariffs hit this specific product line, the price will go up. And like I said, for me, it's not about price. It's not about the money. It's not about making money because I've just retired from the military and I'm good. Like I'm financially good. Like I don't necessarily need the commissions that come from this. And if you watch the masterclass, you'll see why. But or you'll understand why I say that, and you'll get benefits out of it, right? Um, but with that being said, you want to strike while the iron's hot, and before it gets hot. In this case, so I just wanted to share that with you. Let me see if there's any questions down here. I don't know if there's a. I don't know if anyone has chatted or said anything. I feel like they change this every time. And I think I'm going to start sharing more. We'll see if. All right. So we'll see if that helps. But I can't be on here long because in about 10, you probably got another 10 minutes of me hanging out here. And the reason why is because I'm going to actually help someone get this system set up in their house. And yeah, so we're going to do that through Zoom. But really just want to reach out. A couple other things to share. I am creating an Instagram right now, L'Apprentice Demand. So you can check that out. You can see testimonials of how this water is helping people financially and health wise. I am trying it out, but at the same time, I'm not a fan of always being on social media and playing the game of constantly catching up and trying to build out an audience and reach all like that's a lot of work for multiple channels. And I actually enjoy YouTube, right? The people who find me will find me. I can share this content and they can get the help that they need. So while I have that, and I do have a TikTok, I haven't put anything on. I think I have one video there, but I got friends who are trying to get me to go to TikTok to share the information there. And I may try it, but I really desire to keep it all under one platform. And YouTube, I feel like, is the best platform because people really come here for educational stuff. And I think they do that on TikTok as well. But I think it's a good spot. And I'm learning to use it more and I can reach people when I want to, all that good stuff. So that's it. Those are the main updates. Besides that, I'm debating on if I'm leaving the country because I can do that, right? Financially, I'm out of the military now, but we'll see what happens. But I want to get more engaged here and be more transparent, right? So this channel started originally because channel originally started because I wanted to get their information out, but at the same time, it was during COVID. Like this all started back in COVID. And COVID time, I wasn't allowed to share anything. Well, I could, but everything would get shut down. I get banned by the companies, all that type of stuff. And I saw it happening to other people, which led me to go down the path that I've been going down with how I share the water, how I share the information and all that stuff. So that's why I've been doing it that way. Let's see what else. What else can I share? Well, I'll say that's really it. But I'm going to start being more transparent. I want to start sharing more testimonials and stories and journals and all that type of stuff so you can be made more aware because this goes so much deeper than drinking water. And if you're in America, like we have a health problem and this is a solution for those who are serious. and those who are ready. So, and I want to help out in that regard in the easiest way possible. And I thought I thought having a way for you guys to text me would be better, but I don't think it is. I don't think it's changing regardless of if I had text or email, so I may switch everything back to email and save the opportunity to like literally chat with me for those who are serious. And that's what was working before, and I feel like I kind of broke it trying to be more available, right? So I may switch it back. But if you got any questions for me, let me know. I'm trying to see. Yeah, if you have any questions, put them in the chat or put them in this question box I added here. And I think, well, we'll see what happens. I'll try to do these more often, more live, and I'll actually schedule them out like at least I don't know, the last Saturday of every month or something like that. I'll go live. That way you guys can engage with me. If you have questions, I can answer them. Different things like that. I'm considering it. We'll see what happens. But if I get dumb questions, then I'll probably stop it. um, and after looking at all these bottled waters, there's not a single one I recommend because that's probably the number one question I get asked. Well, what bottled water do you recommend? Drink the one that resonates with you most right now. Whichever one you were drinking before you got curious or before you started questioning it, if you enjoyed it, then I would say drink it until you're ready to upgrade. So that's kind of how I feel there. But I'm trying to see if there's any questions. And if there's not, then I'm just going to go ahead and jump off because I don't want to be here lollygagging and babbling. But the main thing is if you are serious about your health and you watch a masterclass, if you're serious about your health and you haven't watched a masterclass, watch it. And then keep in mind that the water system that I recommend, if the tariffs start to apply, if the tariffs start to apply, if you think it's expensive now, it's definitely going to shoot up when the tariffs get activated. I'm telling you. So people are getting our tax returns back. There's talks about us potentially getting more money for taxes. Perfect time to invest in your health. You may want to take that into consideration. And make some moves. That's all I'm sharing. Godfather Banks. Hope you're doing well too. Hope you're staying blessed. But yeah, just jumping on live, answering some questions and trying to be a little bit more transparent as I can. And try to help save you guys some money, if possible, as much as I can before things start getting crazy here, right? And just sharing some of the updates I went through, some of the changes that have been happening, some of the things I've tried that have failed, yeah, and all that stuff. So, hope you're doing well. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. If not, I'm gonna get out of here because today is actually my cleaning day. I have not tried the Alexa Pure water filtration. So I kind of shared this before. Filtration is the first step, right? So it really depends on, I have a video that talks about how to determine if your filter is right for you. And that goes into the questions of what's in your water. Is the filter actually certified to remove what they're saying on their website? I never trust their website, never, because I have a website. I could build and put whatever I want on it, and they could do the same thing. I don't trust the third-party testing. The only places where the testing is good, NSF, the number one. In fact, everything is to NSF standards. So if you cannot find their filter on the NSF database, then I don't believe what it says on their website. So you got NSF, Water Quality Association, WQA. You can search for filters there. And of course, everything goes to NSF or everything becomes NSF through WQA. Then the last one, which a lot of places are actually going to, is IAPMO. right? So that one is actually a lot of filtration companies are flocking to that one because it's cheaper. And so I guess I understand that, right? But that's ultimately what's happening there. So there's a video I want to say how to find the best water for you, part 2. Part 1 shares that all bottled water is trash, essentially. Part 2 breaks down and shares, all right, cool, if you're going to look for a filter, here's what to look for. Now, if it's reverse osmosis, if it's a distilled water, normally those are the most oxidizing waters. And so I used to say you never want them, and in a sense you really don't, but some of you are living in places where you have sulfur in your water and you smell it, right? Some of you are living in places where you have where you actually need reverse osmosis to clean and purify your water. And then you have to, and there's where people mess up, is they don't remineralize the water. And if you're in that situation, you just gotta find a way to remineralize it. So whether it's synthetic or natural is going to be the challenge, and I haven't done enough research to find one to recommend. And so that's kind of where I'm stuck at in that regard. So that's something where you have to do your research. I would move. Personally, that's just me, but I know not everybody can just pick up and leave. However, reverse osmosis solely wastes a ton of water. It doesn't actually remove everything, and it makes the water extremely oxidizing. It's really meant for machinery. The Navy was using, helped create that system, the reverse osmosis system, so they can take the water that's in the sea to use it for the things that they have on the boats. That's the original intent. And we've taken it and said that, hey, if there's no TDS, total dissolved solids, then that means it's clean, pure water. And no, nope, that is clean doesn't mean that it's healthy for you. So check that video out. And my time is up here. And mainly because I got to help someone set up their system. All right. So hopefully you got the message. Hopefully you're doing well out there. And some changes are coming as usual. And you guys you'll be fine. But have a blessed weekend. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll catch you later.